Hi, this is a short demo, and it is an extension of a demo that already exists titled Database Activity Monitoring for Azure SQL. So if you haven't seen that, please view that video first. And the reason for today's video is after that video, we had a few questions about whether whether we support also the redaction of various things inside the SQL statements, um, so that if you have sensitive data on Azure and you're using this method to capture it and audit it and store it, whether you can do so without the sensitive values in there, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Just as a recap, you start with the fact that anything that happens on SQL Azure, um, the jSonar systems can capture and store, so that so that you can get an audit trail together with on-prem systems. And what I'll do is I'll just go into my sample database over here, and what I'll do is I'll show you first how that looks, um, in terms of, so I have an employee table. I can do select star from employee. Okay. Um, Employees, sorry. And then I can, for example, insert a new record over there called Joe uh, JS 35 male. Okay, and I'm going to insert that record as well. And just make sure that it was indeed inserted into the table. Great, it's here. Okay, so at this point, I'll show you what that looks like on the jSonar system. So now let's take a quick look at what happens on the jSonar side. Run the query, look at all the data that's been collected. Here's the database name, which indeed is my database name over here. And then I look at the SQL that was done, indeed here's the insert that was done. So everything's all set. Now the real question here, or for this video, is, but I don't want to see the sensitive data. And so in jSonar, in the latest release, you can now add redaction. There are redaction capabilities for the SQL that comes in from Azure as well as from other places. And so let's see how that looks. So I turned on the redaction rules, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue some more commands. I'm going to change this to say Jane, and change this to say F. Okay, so I'll run this. Make sure that it was indeed created. And maybe do something else. Maybe let's do this. Let's do a select star from employees where first name equals Joe. So that should return one row. And then also do one last thing. Let's do an update employees set age equals 47 for Joe. Okay, all set. So now let's turn back and see what these commands look like on the jSonar side. Okay, and now let's go back to the jSonar system and look at what new commands came in. And so here it is. This is our insert of Jane, where the name is missing. the select where the where clause is missing, and the update where both the where clause and the value being set is redacted out. And so indeed it is safe to do SQL Azure auditing if you have sensitive data and you do not want those to appear inside the log collected by jSonar. So thanks, and make sure to see the other videos on our website.